everyone. Welcome to yet another session of the series Literary Terms and Figures of Speech, where we are going to look at the type of lyric elegy. If we see the origin of this word elegy, then it has been derived from this Greek word elegus, which means a song of bereavement or suffering, which is sung to the accompaniment of a flute. Now, this is what this word elegy conveys as per its origin. Now, if we see this term historically, so before we begin to see the definition of this term elegy, I would like to draw your attention towards the historical part of this poetic form elegy. In classical literature or in the ancient Greek or Latin verses, an elegy was simply any poem written in the elegiac meter. Now, I would like to draw your attention towards these two words, any poem. That means in ancient times, elegy covered variety of subjects. It could be related to any subject, like it could be composed on any subject, not only on grief or mortality or death, but also on love, life. It covered variety of subjects. It, as it is stating, as the very statement which is written on the screen, you can see that in ancient times elegy was simply any poem which was written in the elegiac meter. Now, uh, the subject could vary. In ancient times subject could vary, but the meter, the structure, the form, the elegy was bound to this specific form, that was elegiac meter. It had to be written in this specific form, that was elegiac meter. Now, what is this elegiac meter? Elegiac meter or elegiac couplet is a stanza. It is a stanza or it is a couplet which consists of two lines, in which first line is composed in dactylic hexameter and the second line is written in dactylic pentameter. Now, as I have already said in the preceding lecture, that you should get yourself acquainted with these technical terms related to prosody, related to poetry. What is dactylic, what is iamb, hexa, penta, what does it mean by meter? So these all terms are related to rhyme and rhythm, which I have already discussed in one of my earlier lectures, and the link I have already provided in the preceding lecture, and in this lecture, in the description box of this lecture too, I'm providing you the link, and I urge you that you should go through the lecture, so that you should have an idea what does it mean by dactylic hexameter and dactylic pentameter. So, to resume our discussion on elegy, historically elegy could be any poem which was written, which used to be written in elegiac meter, and elegiac meter is made up of two lines. First line is dactylic hexameter and the second line is composed in dactylic pentameter, and these are the two notable Roman poets, Catullus and Ovid, who wrote many beautiful and famous elegies of ancient times, which were related to a variety of subjects but were written in elegiac meter. So I hope that now you have an idea that what does it mean by elegiac meter. I have discussed with you this elegiac meter or the historical history of elegy, so that you should never be confused, or you should not mix these two different or separate terms, elegy, which we call nowadays the poetic form of elegy, which we call now, and the elegiac meter. Elegiac meter is a part of technicality. Elegiac meter has nothing to do with the present form of elegy. So let's move on. Now, in the modern times, this form elegy has undergone or has gone through a drastic change, as since the 16th century in English literature, an elegy has come to mean a poem of lamentation. It is a specifically, elegy is a poem in which a speaker expresses his or her sorrow over or on the death or on the loss of his loved one, of his dear one. This is what we call elegy Today, it may be written in any meter the poet chooses. There is no foundation of meter. It is free from the foundation or restrictions of the specific form in terms of meter, rhyme, or rhythmic pattern. So, in simple word, elegy, the subject or the theme of elegy is related to sad or reflective themes. It is mourning or mournful in its tone. Here is a proper definition of elegy. I am reading out it to you. An elegy is a poem of serious reflection, especially one mourning the loss of someone who died or lost. Now, after this discussion, these are the general features which I have listed here. Let's have a brief discussion over them so that when you read elegy or you can identify elegy when you encounter or when you face many poems, then you can very well identify elegy. So these are the general features which you can find in any type of elegy. The first one is, in an elegy the poet presents his thoughts in imaginative form as a first person. In a very in simple words, we find a poet in a very emotional and subjective mode. Second one is, questions are raised by the poet about destiny, justice, and fate, which conveys that in the continuation of his reflective and meditative mood in an elegy, we find the poet that he raises some philosophical question related to destiny, justice, and fate. And at the last, towards the end, the poet generally tries to provide comfort to ease the pain of the situation. And what does this mean? This conveys that we always find in an elegy that the poet usually starts on a lamenting mood, on a mourning mood. He seems to drown himself in a sorrow, in the deep abyss of sorrow. But at the end, usually, or it is quite often that we find in an elegy, the poet ultimately discovers a consolation, uh, and he finds himself in a different mode of an understanding or deeper understanding of the fact of life, of about death, and he finds himself reconcile he in the state of reconciliation with death. So this is what we usually find in most of the elegies, that this shift from lamentation to consolation. So these are the general features which we can find in any type of or any elegy in English literature since 16th century. Now here are some of the examples of the famous elegies in English literature. The first one is Thomas Gray's elegy written in a country churchyard, which he composed after the death of his friend Richard West. This poem is actually a meditation on death, and this poem also celebrates the life and achievements of common and rustic people. The next one is Tennyson's In Memoriam, which is a philosophical discussion or discourse over the complexities of life. And this poem he composed after the death of his dear friend Arthur Henry Hallam. And the next one is composed by Matthew Arnold. That title is Rugby Chapel, which he composed after visiting his father's grave. And in this poem he seems to discuss about the humans mortality and the stark truth of life. And the last one is the famous elegy When Lilacs Last in the Dooryard Bloomed, written by this American poet Walt Whitman, which he wrote or composed after the death of Abraham Lincoln. Now, before I sum up this discussion on elegy, I would like to discuss briefly about this particular kind of elegy, pastoral elegy. This is a specific kind of elegy which is also once it was also very popular among the poets, and many famous elegies are also composed in this particular form. What does it mean by pastoral elegy? pastoral elegy, as you can also guess, that in the very league of pastoral poetry, when the name pastoral comes, then automatically we can imagine, or we can find ourselves in a scenery of rural setting. Yes, pastoral elegy is very much in the league of pastoral poetry, where the poet presents himself as a shepherd who is mourning over the death of his fellow companion, who is a deceased shepherd, and obviously he presents himself, or he presents, or he speaks this poem in the backdrop of rural setting, and he represented his ideas in a very rustic speech, in a very common language. And this is what the specific or special characteristic of pastoral elegy. And the last, we also observe in most of the pastoral elegies that they begin with an invocation to the muse, so that the goddess muse aids the poet in expressing his suffering. And one more thing, that in pastoral elegy 2 we find a strange consolation, that at the end of the poem we always find in pastoral elegy 2, as a very in the similar vein of general elegy, in pastoral elegy 2 we find that the poet comes to an understanding. At the end, poet comes to reconcile with the death, and comes up with a deeper and a better understanding about death, and finds himself in peace with the subject like death. And here are some of the examples which are the prominent or famous elegies, pastoral elegies. The first one is the famous elegy, pastoral elegy Lycidas by John Milton, in which he is, though it is written in the memory of his college friend Edward King. In this same poem, he also discusses about the degradation of poetry and religion. The next one is Adonis. Percy Bysshe Shelley wrote or composed it in the memory of his dear poet friend John Keats. And the last one is Thyrsis, which Arnold composed in the memory of his dear friend Arthur Hugh Clough. And in this poem too, he discusses over the mortality or truth of life, and laments over the death of his dear friend. So this is what pastoral elegy and its examples. And that's all for today. I look forward to see you in the next lecture. Thank you for listening.